Kylie here for Board Game Geek at Gen Con 50. I'm sitting down with the ever wonderful Ignacy Trzewiczek, who is the owner of Portal Games and also designer of First Martians Adventures of the Red Planet. This is one I've been eagerly waiting myself. It's sitting at home.
Thank you.
So co-op on the planet Mars.
Yeah. So this is so-called follow-up to Robinson Crusoe.
Right.
It uses a similar mechanism. It's not the same game, but it uses a similar mechanism. So all the players who know Robinson Crusoe will very easily find themselves in the system. Like even looking at the board, you can easily see the morale, the map, the things that you build. Like even the map we try to build similarly. In Robinson Crusoe we have the weather phase. Here we have malfunction phase, which is screwing the players as well, like in Robinson Weather. So like
screwing things up definitely is the right way to phrase that.
So you are feeling confident immediately when you sit at the game. But of course, all the details change. Of course, the team is completely different. This game is much more about the science. It is much more serious, I would say. Like there is no tigers or cannibals or some other crazy things. Here is a science. Here is a NASA asking us for meeting objectives, and exactly like in Robinson Crusoe, this game is scenario driven.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, you've written a book called Board Games That Tell Stories, and I mean, obviously,
this is how I design.
Exactly and that was one of the things I enjoyed most about this was that one of the things we don't have pictured here is you can pair this with an app, which helps tell that story piece with little quotes about what the astronaut said and
log entry,
exactly, log entries,
cool.
which I thought was such a nice touch. It really helped you get immersed in what you were doing, even more than most co-ops that I felt.
I'm super happy how the game ended up, and like in Robinson Crusoe, you have 6 missions in Robinson Crusoe, 6 scenarios. Here we call them missions, like you have 6 missions.
Yeah, and I'm going to pull one of the mission cards here. This is the one you suggest that people start with.
Yeah, this is interesting concept because many people says that the first scenario in Robinson Crusoe is so difficult. And I was thinking about this, okay, so let's make a tutorial mission, like make an introductory mission that you just bought the game, you read the rulebook for the first time, you have no clue what's going on, just play something easy. And this make yourself at home tutorial mission, very short. You just have to build some new facilities. NASA tells you that build a backup farm, build a backup oxygenators, you will be fine. And in most cases, you will be fine.
I was thinking, we won our first game. I was like, okay, not too bad.
But then you feel confident with the rules. Yes, you are able to start for the next mission. Yeah? The next mission, for example, is a guessing game. Is a mission. We divided missions into 3 types. We have building missions when you have to build stuff, to build new facilities, new rooms. We created explore missions when you have to explore the map and see new areas on the map. This is explore mission. And we have research missions where you have to do discoveries and examine the samples. In this mission, for example, a guessing game, the containers with the food and the spare parts for the whole crew just exploded when entering the atmosphere of the Mars, and they landed very far away from you, and actually you have no clue where is the food, where is the parts, where is it just destroyed. And that's why the guessing game. You have to figure out where is our food, where are our spare parts. You have to go there. It is very far away from the hub. Completely different scenario than what you played when we was just building the farm and oxygenator. Now you have to go outside the habitat and you have to figure out where is our food and if we need the food first or if we need the spare parts first, because if something is broken in the habitat.
Nice to have one or the other.
Yeah, so these are choices for the players.
I was going to say, and no matter what scenario or mission you're doing, there's a pattern to a turn, and that pattern is the same, so you can kind of settle into a rhythm, and the app also can really help with that. That really helped me, that it will take you through what to do with malfunctions, so you don't forget all the little bits.
As I was talking about the game last year, and so many people were afraid about the app, were complaining that we don't want the app, and now I know that when people play it, they will say, okay, this app is not that stupid anyway. It helps us. It reminds us about the rules. It has like FAQ inside the app for the dedicated mission. Like there's so many small touches that you actually it adds a value to the game. Like it is easier right now with the app. So I know that each of you who played the game will say, okay, this app is not that stupid idea. Like,
it's useful. So let's talk a little bit, because at its heart, this is a worker placement game. Let's give a couple examples of maybe, which this would be about the middle of a round.
Yes.
Sort of how people might put out some of their workers and then resolve a few of these things, particularly what some of the things happen with all these dice.
So basic mechanism known from Robinson Crusoe is that every player has 2 action pawns. You can use 2 action pawns to do an action. So for example, I see that this system is not working and I can send, okay, Mr. Give me this, Mr. Engineer. Mr. Engineer, hey, go, sir, and fix it. He has to sacrifice a spare parts to fix it. He spends the whole day, all his action pawns, to do this. But Mr. Scientist wants to be smart also. He wants, for example, to go here to discover this area, and he wants also, for example, to go to the PlayStation. Yes, or whatever, or command center. So this guy is doing 2 things in a round, while this guy is doing only 1 thing in a round. So this guy had the automatic success. He just fixed the thing. He just fixed it because he spent the whole day on that. This guy was fooling around. Yeah. So he will have to roll the dice. Yes. He split his action pawns and then he will roll the dice. And if you roll the dice, things may happen. Yes. So
you may or may not succeed.
Yeah. So
you may not do something else.
Yes. So we have adventures on the dice. And if you have adventure, you click in the app that I just had adventure, and the app randomly.
I loved that.
Yeah, I randomly see what happened, and you may be wounded or not. Yes, with the once again, what app gave a value. I don't know if you had these adventures because there's so many of them, but there are some adventures that give you actually a choice. Like it's a.
Yes.
You had us? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It was in fact, it was one of the adventure ones. It's you could continue on it and explore another region. Do you or do you not? I think that was our first adventure. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's exactly the case. And the players have yes or no, and depending on what you choose, something different will happen. Yes.
Attention, gentlemen.
Thank you.
The time is now 5:30, and the exhibit hall will be closing in 30 minutes.
So with these choices in adventures is once again a reason for the players to discuss. Like this is the most important part of the gameplay when we discuss. Yes, when we discuss, do it or no, and we argue. This is awesome. So this is how the game works. 2 action pawns, automatic success, or 1 action pawn, roll the dice and see what happens. And most likely you will have adventure. Most likely you might have a wound, and you will succeed or not. As simple as that. This is worker placement game. I love these mechanisms. Like most of my games are worker placement games.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about malfunction, because that's the main thing that is going to prevent you from succeeding.
I don't know if I can use this word, but it is a pain in the ass, right? This is like,
go right ahead.
Yeah. So we have here 3 tracks that represents all the small issues that may happen in this block. These are four rooms. In this block, 3 rooms, and in this block, 5 rooms. And from different game effects, from different roles, from different things, this goes up and up and up, and we see it's coming.
Right, and we get some at the end of every round, no matter what.
And at some point, when it reaches the 5 number, you will have to draw the die, draw the card. These cards are painful, are distraction, but they're not that bad. These cards are dedicated to your med lab. You don't want your med lab to be in problems, and your cool quarters where you sleep. So this is bad. But this malfunction system, the red ones, are dedicated to your oxygen generators and your energy. Yes, and your farm, your food. So
that's your dead deck.
Yeah. So basically, so we color coded it like this is bad, this is worse, this is the worst. Like this is what you expect. Yeah. So players seeing that it is going up and up and up, they see the tension growing. Like they say, okay, in a moment we will have serious problems. Yes, they can try to fix it. They have different tools to lower this tension, but you have so many different things to do. You have so many things falling apart in this planet. Like at some point it will explode, and at some point.
Well, and before I let you go, let's talk a little bit. They also have campaign modes.
Yes.
So here's all our scenarios. These are kind of one-shot missions. They are a one-game issue, but then we've got a couple campaigns.
Yes. So first Martians is like in Robinson Crusoe, having 6 unique missions, and then on top of that it has 2 additional campaigns. Each campaign is 5 missions long, so this is basically doubling the amount of the content, and these missions are connected in a one big plot line, like a TV show. Like you are starting with your characters and you will have to survive all the 5 missions, and there's one story, one plot line that goes till the grande finale that you will discover after about 8 hours of gameplay. Like it's about 8 hours of gameplay.
Is it 8 per?
8 campaigns. Yes,
yeah.
one campaign takes about 8 hours to finish.
So-
The first campaign starts in a situation when you have a landing zone for supply of food and spare parts because you're on the Mars for a long time and you need new stuff from the Earth sent to you. And you just discovered that there was some eruption of the volcano in the landing zone, and you have to change the landing zone. You have the data for the new landing zone, but the scenario starts where your antenna breaks down and you have no way to contact Earth to tell them that the landing zone is no longer valid and all the food and all the spare parts will be just destroyed. And then it's getting worse, of course. Like basically, but from the very first round, like, okay guys, we have to fix this antenna very, very fast before this stuff lands in the volcano. And then you have to play in a very strategic way because every single wound you get, every single red cube you will get, after the first mission you will save in the update status. Everything is saved and you start the next mission with the new objectives, already being wounded, already with destroyed habitat, etc., etc. So it builds players so with a so big tension, thinking, okay, we have to think it right because it's planning for the 5 missions is amazing. And the second campaign, the Welcome to Mars, is introducing the new crew of astronauts arriving to Mars. So you have the second crew. The first mission will start, no spoilers too much, but it will start with building new crew quarters for them, additional farms so they have more food, etc. And once again, things will surprise players, things will happen. And this one is a legacy campaign, so therefore there's these envelopes. In these envelopes you will find a handout to be used in this campaign only. You will open the envelope, find some cool handout, and you will write something or you'll do something with that. I want to surprise you. So we have all specters of game. Like we have single missions, like in Robinson Crusoe you have campaign, like MHS Beagle campaign back then to Robinson Crusoe, and you have legacy campaign, like all people.
A little bit of legacy in there.
Yeah. So altogether 16 missions, 3 years of my life. So this is
what a labor of love.
Yeah, this is a big project. This is a complex game. You play to, this is lots of moving parts. That's why we went with tutorial. Like there's a lot of moving parts. It's a big game. Play tutorial once, play the second time. When you feel familiar with the system, move on to the next mission, then jump to the campaign, and then you will enjoy the game.
Well, let's just talk about how many players.
Yeah, this is like in Robinson Crusoe, 1 to 4 players. You can play solo, you can play with a team of 4 players. The app, we should mention this, the app lets you choose the difficulty level of the game you are playing, which level you played.
Easy.
But this is...
It was the very first game though.
Yeah,
so.
but this is exactly what we wanted. We wanted players to step very slowly, getting familiar with the system, go to the medium, if you're familiar with the system, getting to the hardcore, but this is how the game works, that you're choosing the difficulty level and the app throws at you different events, easier or medium or hardcore. Once again, adjusting experience to your expectations, basically.
Yeah, we actually figured we would play the intro mission again, but now on normal.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I want from you. Small steps, yes.
I'm doing what you planned.
I'm super happy.
Well, Ignacy, it obviously shows how much effort and time you put into this, and I'm thrilled that you were able to give us a first-hand take on First Martians.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, I just had a quick question. What was the inspiration? Do you have particular fascination with Mars or with space exploration, or where'd the passion come from?
It all started. I mean, I'm sci-fi fan from my childhood. Like, I was a teenager reading all the sci-fi books. That's obvious. But the basic idea was from the fans. I was for years asking by the fans, "Hey, Ignacy, make Robinson in space." And I was like, this is a stupid idea. And then the Mars became so vivid theme. It was so, everybody was talking about the Mars. And I said, okay, everybody's asking me for the Robinson Crusoe in space. And everybody's talking about the Mars. Let's do it. Yeah. And but basically, for years I was saying, no. And then, okay, it is a time for this project. So yes, it is once again community idea, like basically.
Well, if you guys want to check that out, that is First Martians, Adventures on the Red Planet, which is being published by Portal Games. And Ignacy, thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you. My pleasure. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.